In this life, have you ever felt surrounded by judgment, gossip, and negativity? Sometimes, no matter how hard we try, we can't seem to stop these noises from creeping into our minds, stealing away the peace we so deeply crave. And perhaps you've wondered if there is truly a place of calm, where we can escape all these distractions. But, does a change of place really guarantee us peace, or is peace something we find within ourselves? Today, we'll explore a profound Zen lesson through the story of a young monk longing to leave the chaos behind in search of serenity. Through this story, you'll realize that true peace isn't about where we are, but about what we choose to focus on. Let's dive into this story to understand why focusing on yourself might be the key to a calm life, regardless of the turbulence around you. The story takes place in a small temple, where monks live and study, each seeking enlightenment and inner peace. Among them is a young monk who constantly yearns for a peaceful life, but feels that he cannot attain it in the current temple. This young monk often finds himself caught up in the chatter of other monks, their arguments, and even unfair criticisms. One day, unable to bear it any longer, the young monk approaches his master and confesses, "Master, I want to leave this temple. Everyone here is too negative, they constantly speak poorly of one another, and I can't focus on my own path." His eyes sparkled with a desire to escape the toxic place he perceived around him. The master listens silently, and after the young monk finishes, he responds gently, "Very well, I will allow you to go. But before you leave, I have one task I'd like you to complete." The young monk immediately agrees, willing to do anything to leave the temple. The master hands him a small spoon of water and instructs, "Take this spoon of water and carry it around the temple without spilling a drop." The young monk accepts the challenge, intensely focusing on the spoon and carefully walking through every corner of the temple. Gradually, his thoughts of the surroundings fade, and all his attention is absorbed in the task. When he returns with a proud smile, he says, "Master, I have completed it. Now, please keep your promise and let me go." The master looks at the young monk and gently asks, "While you carried the spoon, did you hear any gossip or negativity around you?" The young monk is surprised and answers, "No, master. I was entirely focused on the spoon." The master nods and replies, "You see, when you focus on your goal, all that noise becomes nothing more than background." This story gives us an essential lesson. In life, focusing on our own path helps us avoid distractions and minimizes the negative impact of external influences. Often, it's our attention to others' opinions and judgments that causes us to lose peace and self-confidence. But when we concentrate on ourselves, these negative factors lose their importance. Buddhist philosophy also encourages us to practice mindfulness and right concentration as part of the Noble Eightfold Path, which involves keeping our minds deeply focused on the present and on what truly matters. It's only through this understanding that we can remain calm amid life's noise. To understand this lesson better, imagine a real-life modern scenario. A recent college graduate, full of enthusiasm and eager to prove himself at his first job, quickly realizes that the workplace is not as he imagined. It's filled with competition, gossip, and unfair management decisions. Initially, he feels discouraged, even contemplating leaving for another job, hoping to find a more peaceful, fair environment. Instead of giving up, he tries a different approach. He decides to focus on personal projects, improving his skills, and ignoring the office gossip. Over time, he discovers that concentrating on his goals brings him satisfaction and progress, while the office politics fade into the background. This approach not only advances his career but also builds patience and focus, qualities he hadn't realized he possessed. When we stop worrying about others' judgments, we begin to uncover our true worth. Buddhist philosophy speaks of impermanence, emphasizing that everything changes and nothing lasts forever. Criticisms and opinions from others are no different. Clinging to these only drains our energy and peace. Accepting ourselves and focusing on our personal goals helps us distance from distractions and allows us to grow, finding true inner peace. When we stop worrying about others' thoughts, we become free to pursue what genuinely matters to us. Consider another example, a young artist passionate about his craft, but constantly facing skepticism from family and friends who doubt his choice. They don't believe that pursuing art can bring him success or happiness. Initially, he feels confused and questions himself upon hearing these comments. But after reflecting, he decides to ignore the judgment, focusing on honing his skills and dedicating himself to his art. Over time, he not only finds success but also proves to everyone that his choice was right. By focusing on his personal goals, he gains the motivation to rise above criticism and gradually finds peace. His commitment to himself helps him grow and build a stable career. Through these stories, we see that running away isn't always the solution. In life, no matter where we go, we will encounter negativity and noise that pull us away from our true purpose. Instead of trying to escape, focus on yourself. Each day, you can practice simple mindfulness exercises, reminding yourself of your goals and true values. This approach not only brings you peace but also opens up a life with fewer distractions and more meaning. Rather than getting swept up in conflicts, you become the master of your life, living true to your purpose and values. Life can be very noisy, filled with elements that distract us. But if you can learn to focus on your path, you'll find that those noises become nothing more than passing sounds, unable to disturb your inner peace. Instead of getting caught up in negativity, learn to control your mind and focus on your own goals. Thank you for spending this time with me on this Zen lesson. If this story and lesson have given you a new perspective on peace and focus, please support us by subscribing to the channel so you don't miss other meaningful stories. Don't forget to share this video with someone you care about. Sometimes, a simple story can create a profound change in someone's life. Wishing you peace on your journey.